Hello. Yes. How can I master English? I want to get better at English. Oh man, if I had $1 for every time people ask me that, I'd be richer than anybody. I have more money than anybody. I have more money, more dong, more macaronis than Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Barack Obama, the banks, the UN, the NWO, George Lucas, Obama again, and Oprah combined. I have more money because like people ask me this all the time, and so this video is really for anybody and everybody, the students, the teachers, the parents, all the people that are learning English or helping other people learn English. It's a really important question. We all want to know. Like the person on my phone. Hey man, how can I learn English? I want to get better at English. Oh man, people are asking all the time. It's simple. You just gotta practice it. You gotta use it. You gotta integrate yourself into it. You gotta immerse yourself into it. It's like going into the water. You gotta really like, I'm diving in. I'm going deep. Head over my shoulder. You gotta like die into it. You gotta be dependent into it. It gets to be very important. You gotta use all the tools and resources around you to make it possible. Like for example, I want to show you some of the things that I got. I got some nuts. I eat some of the nuts here. The nuts are good for your brain. This is the nut. I got some water here. Drink some water. It's good for you. Drink it all. Just drink all the water. You gotta sleep. You gotta exercise. You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta eat all these things that are good for you. You gotta use some of these flashcards. You really gotta ask your students and ask yourself if you're learning some questions like, what are they doing? And you gotta drill yourself in the morning, afternoon, at night, at night. You know, before you go to sleep, in the evening, you gotta drill yourself. You gotta review it over and over. You gotta learn it again and again. Review it again and again. And look at these pictures. Like this says, "Oh, I love you." Extend a hand. Sprawl, run, fall, read, write, kneel, sit, stand, walk, happy. Say it again. Practice the pronunciation. If you really want to learn, you gotta find people who know English naturally, natively. You know, the people that can say it really, really well, the people that are born into it. And you really gotta ask them, and they gotta be able to correct you, edit you, fix you up when you're doing it wrong. I got some some other flashcards. This is for the TOEIC, and has 600 essential words for learning the English and for passing the test. And we've got all these tests that we're working on, and so that's what I do in Vietnam. Since 2012, I've been helping people with all these things, children and adults. I do a lot of that. And so I want to show you some of the things like oatmeal, and we got some coffee, and tea, and these are my sponsors. Welcome to the Joey Arnold Show. I'm Joey Arnold, and today we're going to talk about how to learn English and how to do all those things. And I'm talking fast because I got a lot to say. And so you can use some of the like paper, some like business cards, name cards. You can write the words that you want to learn, things you want to try to remember. Write them down. Look at them again. Close your eyes. Try to remember. Write down what you want to learn on one side, like the English on one side, and the Vietnamese on the other, and try to remember. You say like gumga, and then you try to remember chicken rice, gumga, or you gotta do those things. And you got the glue stick, stick it on onto the cards. You can even use the like playing cards, and you got all these books like this, for example. It has like pictures in it, and you can look at it, try to learn it. It has English and Vietnamese in it, and you got all these different kinds of dictionaries from English to Vietnamese. And it's important to have some kind of translation. Try to find interpreters, translators, thesauruses, where it shows you one word and another word that's like the same or almost the same, like similar, like synonyms. For the thesaurus, it sounds like a dinosaur, like Barney the purple dinosaur. Hi kids, I'm Barney, I'm gonna help you. I'm like prehistoric, like before there was history. Like I was around and I'm still around, I'm really old and I can help you because I'm like your mother, but better. That's what the dinosaur said on a children's show on PBS, and it's really amazing. But if he's not there for you, who's gonna be there for you? Michael Jackson? I don't know about that. But here, I'm here for you too, but maybe not really because I might be too far away to help you. But how do people learn? The babies, they are inside the mummy and they listen to English, and so the first thing you gotta do is listen, and you gotta use your ears, and that's why you got 2 ears and 1 mouth, because listening is more important. And you listen to English for 9 months before you come out, and then you listen to it more, and you want to ask me, how do I learn English? How do I learn English that you gotta listen for like 30 years. I'll have to wait 30 years to get as good as you? Yeah, you gotta wait that long because, maybe not really, but you got maybe like a few months. You gotta be dedicated, you gotta be committed, and the babies, they take it in, they soak it up, and it's so good for them. And the babies listen to the language, and it's very important. They're gonna learn it, and they soak it up like a sponge thing, like SpongeBob SquarePants, SpongeBob SquarePants, SpongeBob SquarePants, SpongeBob. You gotta eat it up. Take it in, love it, see it, think it, live it, take it. You gotta be stuck with it. You gotta get up, wake up, drink up, eat up. You gotta grow up, and you better shut up before I punch you in the face, and something bad like that. You gotta take it in, you gotta love it. And the babies, they learn the important words, and you gotta make it important. You're not gonna learn it if it's not important to you. It's just simple like that. And you can say, mommy, like, mommy, like, I'm hungry, cry, I want food, feed me, help me. Very selfish for the first few years of your life, but it's how you begin to communicate. And if you want to work at a better job and have a better business, you gotta do it. And so you can't be sucking for the nipples of your mother's breast for the rest of your life. You gotta grow up. I won't grow up. I don't want to be a man, but you gotta understand that it's very important. And that Peter Pan, you gotta grow up. Michael Jackson, you can't just play with little boys and play with yourself all the time. You gotta grow up, and you gotta rise to the occasion. To be a man, you gotta do it, and you gotta understand, like, no pain, no gain. When life gives you lemons, you gotta make lemonade. No pain, no gain. I'm gonna say it again. You can say that again. Oh, I'll say that again. You gotta step on it. You gotta do it. You got to be important. You gotta learn the phrasal verbs. You gotta learn, I don't know, some of the things that you can learn. And if you can't learn it, then don't worry about it. Go back to it again and try to learn the things that you can learn that will stick to you. And you gotta use all these things like flashcards, happy, sad, smile. Oh, and it's in the Vietnamese. Bun, bui, say hi. Vietnamese or the other languages that you might speak. Most of my audience is Vietnamese because I've been in Vietnam for 2 years. I was born in America in 1985. I came to Vietnam in 2012, and this is what I do. This is my life, and it's very important. And we gotta realize that we gotta grow up. We're not babies anymore. We're not even cavemen or robots or puppets or animals or clones. We're not cavemen, animals, puppets, robots, clones, or even Google Translate. We're more than that. We're better than that. We're better and cooler, stronger, and gosh darn it, people like me. That's what my brother always said, because we saw it on Saturday Night Live, man. We're real and genuine and potential. We got potential. We got it. We are it, and we got it, and we are the great I am. No, not really, but we spent the first 5 years listening, and even before that, and when we learn, Vietnamese, or when we learn English, or when we learn Spanish or Hindu or something, it's like it has to become a part of us. It has to become a part of our identity, and it has to be very important if we want to learn. And that's the question, like, hey man, how can I learn English? I don't know how to do it. Man, you gotta listen and learn and speak and repeat after me all at the same time. We gotta listen 24/7. We gotta be around like English speaking parents and teachers and English teachers and friends and it's a lot easier, especially when we live in countries like America, Canada, England, Australia, and some other countries like that. It's so great and so wonderful. As we get older, our brains get older too, so we gotta find ways to trick the brain into learning, and then we can do it a little bit more. And we gotta use the things like games, songs, lessons, fill in the blanks, connect the dots, play more games, sing songs, karaoke, connections, association, thesauruses, dictionaries, homework, housework, schoolwork, dictionaries, conversations, make it important. Read and write, listen and repeat. Argue in English. When you have conversations and you're arguing and it becomes important, then you have to use your brain to try to find out like words that you really want to say in English. If you're lazy, you're not gonna really remember it, and it has to be very important. So you have to think about it and play more games to help you. For example, it's like I used to do this with some children I used to teach because I'm an English teacher, and like you try to say like a word like smile, and the kids come up in the classroom and they have to touch the word before the other kids do, and then they win. And then you give them like candy, you give them money, you give them something. If you're older, maybe sex or something. Not sex. But hey, what did you say? I thought this was a kid's show. No, I probably not. But I'm just here to say you gotta find ways to reward yourself or reward the students and find ways to help people learn. And this, videos for anybody, the students and for the teachers and the students and for the parents. I don't care who's watching this video, but it's important that you make learning fun, and the traditional way of learning is not so good anymore, or it never has been, but you gotta find maybe like an app on your phone that can help you. So anyways, like you have the game where it's like the student they have to hit the word for the other students do, and then they win. They're the winner. They're number one because they won the game. So games are important. Or maybe they have to say the word and then they jump over it. And it has to be like maybe like a running game where it's like the first person to win is the winner because they have to say the word faster or something. I know there's all these different games that you can play with young people, and with the older people maybe you can play the same games or different games. You gotta play different games with me. You gotta find more ways to play the games, find the connection, try really hard, drill in their head, learn what sticks, and don't worry too much if you don't learn it right away. Go back to it, review it again and again, and use the flashcard, use it again, eat the nuts, and for your brain, you gotta eat the nuts, brought to you by these nuts, and not the nuts down here, but the nuts over here, and you gotta use the walnuts and the cashews and the beans and the fruits, the vegetables and the fish and salmon and the other fish and tuna. And eat the dinosaur, eat the Barney, man, eat the Barney, eat the Barney. Barney says on How I Met Your Mother, wait for it, legendary. It's gonna be legendary. What? Oh man. You gotta eat the salmon with the omega-3, 6, 9, and 12. The vitamins are very important. Become a part of who you are. It's so important. You gotta go nuts with the nuts and bananas with the bananas. Go bananas with the bananas. Go crazy with the right food to help you become healthier and strong physically and mentally and spiritually and psychologically and sexually. Maybe not sexually, but you gotta do all the things to make you rumble. Rumble, man, rumble. Sting like a stinger, like sting like a bee, and fly like a butterfly. And it's not about the size of the dog in the fight, but about the size of the fight and the dog. You gotta do what you gotta do, and you gotta do like what kids do in order to learn something like English or something. You gotta take care of yourself and sleep more, like 8 hours a day, drink plenty of water because you are like, you have about 80% of water inside your body, and you gotta find native English speakers, people who know English to be around, because sometimes you're around other people who know a little bit of English, but they make mistakes. Even some of these books that are written by like non-English speakers, there are mistakes in them, and you gotta practice pronunciation again and again, and start it, learning from the beginning of the day and afternoon and evening and all the time, and listen to it with like some headphones. You gotta listen to English all the time. It has to be very important. You gotta drink the coffee, more music, and make it important. Do or die. You gotta do or die. Or else Liam Neeson is gonna find you, and he's gonna say, "I will find you, and I will kill you." Whoa, I'm so scared. And I'm getting really scared. Who's that guy? On the Ghost Rider? He's like, "Hey man," it's like, wow, I'm really scared. I get really scared, and so when you're scared, that could be like your motivation to learn more, and that's gonna help you, man. That's gonna help you. Are you just a robot, man? I think I'm just a robot. I had emotions like you. I'm like Data from Star Trek The Next Generation. I want to be a little boy like Pinocchio. Oh man, I'm so happy. Even though I live a life full of pain and stuff, I'm so happy that God allowed me to have all this pain, because then I feel like I got some gain because I realized all the things that I was able to overcome, and it makes me a better man. And it's like, yes we can, yes we can. Barack Obama, yes we can. Bob the Builder, yes we can. Bob the Builder, yes we can. So you gotta use all these things and make illustrations and make stuff and use highlighters and work on projects and volunteer to work with other foreigners, expose yourself to English all the time. You gotta force yourself to be around the people in projects in school or in volunteering or at work or in your neighborhood, or you gotta in your church or in some kind of club, or you gotta find ways to be around English speakers, because if you're not around English speakers, you're not really gonna speak English around people who don't speak English because they don't want to speak English because they don't speak English. You gotta find the right environment. You gotta force yourself to be around that environment that is suitable to your goal that you want. You gotta find out what's the most important things that you want to do, and you gotta do those things right away. The sooner the better, and better late than never. But the sooner is the better. And you know, if you don't do it, you're never gonna do it, and you're gonna die not doing it. Like my friend Tiffany Campbell or Blake Webb, or my uncle Jim Williams, like Wolf, and all these people like I could talk about, and you gotta reward yourself like a dog, and good luck. And I have all these things to show you, some books and stuff, and food dictionaries and books, and you can open them, you can work on them, you can help people, use the games and the pictures and all these things. And when you're learning English and when you're helping other people learn, you got to use as many different things and connections as possible. You got to use connections to help you remember things, because if one connection breaks, then you'll still be okay because you'll have another connection, and that's very important. So thank you so much. And I still got more to say, so stay tuned for more. And thank you so much for watching the Joey Arnold Show. I'm Joey Arnold. Take care.